My dad's sick, so I came instead. What the little janitor boy did next left the CEO speechless. It was 5:42 a.m. when 11-year-old Matty slipped quietly into the lobby of the towering Carter and Row building in downtown Chicago, his small hands trembling slightly as he clutched the old ring of keys. The sun hadn't yet risen, and the office was still asleep. Matty knew the routine by heart: vacuum the lobby, wipe the glass doors, empty the bins on every floor. His father, Mr. Alvarez, had done it faithfully for 12 years. But today, Mr. Alvarez was in a hospital bed, weak and pale from a sudden heart condition. And Matty? Matty had come instead. He had heard his mom crying quietly the night before, whispering about how the bills were piling up and how missing even one day of work might cost his dad the job. Matty didn't say anything then, but he decided. He would do it. For his dad. For his family. The oversized janitor's uniform hung off his thin frame, and the gloves slipped off more than they stayed on, but Matty worked with a kind of quiet determination you don't often see in someone so young. He hummed softly while he cleaned, just like his father used to. Floor after floor, quietly wiping, sweeping, organizing, until he reached the top. That's where the CEO's office was. Matty hesitated. The door was open. Inside, the desk was neat, polished, except for a few crumbs from a late-night snack, maybe, and a coffee cup half full. Matty stepped in nervously, broom in hand. As he swept carefully, he caught sight of the view. The whole city lay before him, soaked in golden morning light. He didn't hear the footsteps behind him. "Excuse me." Matty froze. Standing at the doorway was Mr. Thomas Rowe himself, CEO and co-founder, in a crisp navy suit, tie slightly loosened from an early board meeting. His voice was calm but firm. I'm sorry, sir," Matty stammered. "My dad. He usually does this. But he's sick. Really sick. I just wanted to help. Just for today." There was a long pause. Rowe looked at the boy, really looked at him. A child who should have been home asleep or getting ready for school was standing in his office, broom in hand, doing his father's job with shaking hands and wide, scared eyes. "Your dad is Mr. Alvarez, isn't he?" Rowe finally said. Matty nodded. "I've seen him here for years. Always so polite. So thorough." Matty tried to smile, but it came out crooked. "He loves this job. He says it makes him proud." Rowe didn't say anything at first. He walked over to the window, gazing out for a long moment. Then he turned back to Matty and said something unexpected. "Come with me." Matty followed him, unsure, down the elevator, through the executive wing, into the company's main boardroom where half a dozen important-looking people sat around a long table. "This is Matty Alvarez," Rowe said simply. "His dad is the janitor who's been keeping this building spotless for over a decade. Today, Mr. Alvarez is in the hospital. And instead of skipping school or playing games, Matty here showed up, without being asked, to do his dad's job." There was silence. And then something remarkable happened. One by one, the executives stood and applauded. Rowe turned back to Matty. "We talk a lot about values here: integrity, dedication, heart. Today, you showed all three. You reminded us of what real commitment looks like." Matty blinked quickly, trying to hold back tears. "And," Rowe added, "your dad's job is safe. Take this week to care for him. And when he's better, bring him this." He handed Matty a white envelope with a small smile. "It's a bonus. For both of you." Matty took it with both hands, mouth open in disbelief. But it didn't end there. Later that day, a company-wide email went out. Rowe shared Matty's story, how a boy too young to even legally work came in out of love and loyalty. Donations poured in. Employees offered meals, help, and even a scholarship fund in Matty's name. That evening, when Matty sat beside his father in the hospital and handed him the envelope, he didn't say much. He just smiled. "I did your rounds, Dad," he whispered. Everyone was real nice. Mr. Alvarez, eyes wet, squeezed his son's hand. And in that moment, the hospital room didn't feel heavy or sad. It felt full, of pride, of love, of hope. Because sometimes, the smallest hands carry the biggest hearts. And sometimes, the quiet acts of a little janitor boy can remind an entire company, and a watching world, what true greatness really looks like.